Well, we are looking forward to getting back on the court. We suffered a disappointing defeat down in Waco on Tuesday. So we have come back and really tried to work hard and continue to progress, and tomorrow's an important step in our team's development. So High Point has a good team. Their point guard, Reynolds, is, I'd have to think, one of the best point guards in their league. She is very impressive on tape. And Parker, their post player, has to be considered one of the best players in their league. So they're surrounded by a bunch of hard-nosed, tough players that can make threes. Anytime you're playing a team with a good point guard, good post player, and then people that can shoot the basketball, they are dangerous. So we have to be ready to go out and give a great effort tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to getting back in Memorial Coliseum and playing a tough game tomorrow.
When you looked at the tape, which you said would tell you what you needed to know, what did you learn?
Well, first of all, I was disappointed that the game wasn't better, because I know a lot of people were excited about the game. I knew going in that offensively we aren't as sophisticated as we're going to be at some point, and it's just a really, really tough game. So some of the nuances of our offense are not there at the level that could perform in that game. And then you throw in the fact that we missed a lot of shots that maybe we would have made. You just have to look at it and go to work on what you can control. And, you know, we can control our effort, and we can control making layups around the bucket. We can control setting up our screens and using our screens, all the little things where we're just not quite there yet to perform in a game like that. That's what we came back with. So the effort, making layups, that's on the players. They have to get that done. I thought they were very receptive to that. The nuances of the offense, the teaching of setting your player up so you can be effective, that's on the coaching staff. So it is shared responsibility between both of us, and I was just very, very encouraged with how our team performed yesterday in practice.
Obviously, you're disappointed. What was the trip back like? What do you say to your team after that? Obviously, it's never really happened in that fashion. What's your approach? Do you get into them? Do you kind of just let them think about it themselves? Or?
Well, what was very good in this was technology is a great thing. You're able to go ahead and look at it right then and there, and it was a 2-hour flight home. So we had some good information that night as far as where our effort level and our energy level needed to be. Some of that energy level, effort level, it's hard to give a great effort if you're not quite sure about what you're doing and you're playing a little bit slow and you're thinking a lot. So we just talked to them about that you don't ever want to go out and perform like that. That is not the way we wanted to perform, but it is extremely early in the season, and we think we have the makings of a good team. They're going to have to do the work to get that done. But Wednesday was, just a day of trying to gather the facts. I did tell them that we were going to work with the facts. We weren't going to get emotional about it. We were going to react appropriately. We weren't going to overreact, we weren't going to underreact. We were going to just see where the facts led us, and I think we're in a good spot moving forward.
After looking at the tape, is the rotation still going to be the same, with the players? Or have you seen some differences?
Well, you couldn't get much from the rotation Tuesday night because nobody really had just a stellar outing, and Baylor is a difficult team to play for. They have the best point guard in the country, they have the best center in the country, and they have a whole bunch of good players around them. So, that is where they are right now. They are better than we are right now, and we have a lot of work to do to try to improve. So The rotation, we'll figure that out through practice and performance, and it's still very early in the season.
Are you glad you played them early?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you, that is one thing. As embarrassing as the loss was, you know, just if you put yourself, if you're thinking about yourself, and all of us, you know, are human and do that. I was embarrassed as a coach. The players were embarrassed. You know, you don't want to go on national television and look like that. But you have to move on from that quickly and think about the team and where we are and what we can become. And when you stop thinking about all that selfish stuff about being embarrassed about the performance, and then you start really looking back on what the experience can be, I'd much rather be in this position than having played maybe 300 RPI team that same night here in Memorial and won by 50. You know, I would much rather, as painful as it was, have that experience, because if we can ever, and it's a long way, but if we can become the team that we think we can, and we were ever to come across them again, I think it'll be much more valuable to have that experience and know that we have a lot of things to improve upon. And then even if you don't play them again, there's excellent teams remaining on our schedule, and you have to be able to function against the best teams in the country if you're trying to be among those. So I was really happy that we played the game. I'm sure that sounds a little silly or crazy right now, but I'm real happy that we had the experience of playing them.
Sometimes you see leaders emerge in maybe a different way than you've seen in the past in the wake of a game like that. Have you seen anything like that from individual players so far?
Yeah, I saw them take responsibility. You know, it's really hard when you're young and you are playing and on what everybody has been telling you is a big stage, you start to perform poorly and you get down. It happens. And I thought they really took responsibility for, you know, the things that they could have done better. I think they listened and watched and learned on in our video session yesterday. I saw some good things there. One thing I was encouraged, a lot of times Adia Mathis would not have ended up with 18 shot attempts in a game like that. It would have been somewhere around 7 or 8 when things started going south. And I thought that was real positive. She kept firing the ball. It didn't go in, but that showed me a little bit of something there that I think is a small sign of progress. So, you know, we looked for the places of progress that we could find, and a lot of places for correction, and I feel good about getting those things corrected.
One of the issues with the last maybe couple teams has been half-court offense and your inability to kind of get something when you're in that position. Do you think that this team is still going to be a better team?
Yeah, where we have been as a program the last 3 years, and it has taken us a long way, is being able to disrupt opponents. And that has worked far more times than it hasn't. We are the belief that this is a team that can be a top team, and when we have run into the top teams and our pressure hasn't been able to affect them, we have not been equipped to score at a high enough level. So it is a long process of trying to make sure that happens. We are still of the belief that will happen. We believe it's going to happen. I think one night soon, maybe not very soon, but soon against a real quality opponent, you're going to see our offense half court be better than you've ever seen it the last 3 years. And so that does not happen because I say it's going to happen. It happens because we have to go through the process of building that. And what I do feel good about is that the players, from a conceptual standpoint, understand what we're trying to do. We just have to have more repetition in getting the little things right that make it all work. So yeah, I didn't leave that game discouraged. You know, I was disappointed of the way it came out, but I made a decision long before that night that we were going to try to do some different things offensively, and it has taken us a little time, but we really made some progress yesterday. We're going to make some more today. That's just our mindset right now.
What do you think has been missing in the half-court offense for you guys in the last couple of years?
I think our
Is it the repetition? I mean, is that all?
no, I think it is from a coaching standpoint, our sets. We were real set-oriented in the half-court, so we were running this frantic up-and-down pace, getting a lot of scores, a lot of points off turnovers, and then when we would have to set up, it was more set-oriented, and if the set doesn't work, so a set play, comes to a conclusion, and the conclusion means score, and then after that, you sort of have to play. That's what our sets, by the time you get to the end of the year, are scoutable. So what you have to try to become is a team that can read more and that can play off of the defense more. And that is something different than what we've been doing. And we spent a lot of time on our defense. We spent a lot of time on trapping and rotating because we didn't feel like we had the athlete or the talent maybe to match up with some teams. This team, I think, is different. I think this team has more ability to read defenses and make more plays, and it's happening, but it's just taking a little bit of time.
How excited are you with your new 2013 recruiting class?
Very excited. 3 quality players, 3 quality people. Really appreciative of the work that our current players do when these young women come to campus, of communicating to them what it means to play at Kentucky. And we've ended up with 3 people that we believe are the exact right kind of people to be here and continue our forward momentum and our progress, and really happy with their skill level, their talent level in basketball, but real pleased with what kind of people they are. So we were thrilled with our recruiting class.
Are you recruiting to the system now, or are you still trying to get the best players you can? Like, what's your mindset when you go out recruiting?
Well, in this class, we were trying to get the most talented players we could get because we have pretty solid people at most positions. So it depends class to class. The next class, we would love to try to find some mobile, athletic, tall, fast post players. And there are some out there. And so I would say that we are trying to stay close to this identity, not being locked into it, because it really depends on who you can attract. And then we have the character piece that is really important to us. What kind of people do we want to be involved with? And I'd rather be involved with great people than married to or boxed into a particular style. So it'll always start with what kind of quality people we can attract. I am of the belief that there are quality people who possess the physical talent too. So we are trying to recruit to stay close to this identity.
You have a huge, I hate to make you look this far ahead, we just finished with this class, but you've got a huge class
Yeah.
that's going to be going. Is this next class coming up, the class that you'll be recruiting to replace them, is this a deep class, or is this, what are you seeing from
Don't feel bad about asking about that, because that is the key to keeping something going. Is you have to be looking toward the 2014 class. We're looking toward the 2015 class. So the 14 class is I think excellent. I think it has a lot of talent in it. I think it has it clearly has some players that fit into our identity and our style, and so it's going to be an extremely important class for us, and we're excited about where we are with it now, and we just have to keep plugging, and we're going to try to sign the best class in the country in 2014.
Is there a lot of pressure on you to fill? I can't remember how many spots you're going to have to fill, but it's a huge class to replace that.
We'll probably have 6 leaving, so you don't always sign you don't necessarily sign 6, you may, but there is the challenge out there to replace. That's going to be a very good class leaving here, and you need to get a very good class coming in to help bridge that gap. And there's no doubt about the 2014 class is very important for us.
Time for one more, anybody?
Do you have room to still be recruiting in 13? Is there maybe a spring sign or?
I think we probably have maybe something available. I hadn't given a lot of thought to it. We're real comfortable with where we are right now with our roster and feel real good about the 3 that we've signed. And if something popped up that could make our program better, we'd certainly be interested in that. But I'm thrilled and real appreciative to our assistant coaching staff, our support staff. Everybody involved in our program has a hand in recruiting, and they do an outstanding job, and I'm real appreciative of that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.